Disneyland Paris has reopened after the coronavirus closure. But what's it like? What measures have Disney taken? And more importantly, is it worth visiting? Let's go and take a look. Admittedly, this is closing time on Sunday, but normally at closing time you'd get a massive rush of people coming down Main Street. But as you can see, it's just really thin. I mean, we've got on pretty much everything without a wait. We've had the odd ride like Phantom Manor one day where we had to wait 20 minutes, Star Tours where we had to wait 20 minutes one day, but most of the things have just been a walk on all the time. I mean, obviously it's going to get busier, but now virtually no crowd. So it's mandatory to wear masks now at Disneyland Paris. That's in the park, on the walk to the hotel, in the hotel, basically anywhere except in your room, and obviously if you're having something to eat or drink. And to be honest, looking around, most people are complying with the regulations. You get a few people who aren't, or will wear them under the chin when they're walking along, but the fact is most people are doing it, and that's great. Now, how does it feel to wear the mask? Now, we've not really looked out with the weather in terms of the mask because it's been 29, 30 degrees all weekend, so it's been very hot. You're wearing the mask, it's hitting you back in the face. Not too bad in the morning, but you really do feel it in the afternoon. But, you know, if you take enough breaks, sit down, take the mask off, have a drink every so often, you're aware you're wearing the mask, you know, but it's okay, and it's worth it to be able to come here and do all this, so you take your choice. Perhaps the biggest difference you'll notice in terms of the coronavirus precautions that Disneyland are taking is in the queuing areas. Now the thing is, all along the ground in the queue system there's markers saying do not stand on here, so that separates people out. And to be honest, compliance is pretty high. You do get a few people who are standing on it, but generally people are keeping apart. And the other thing is the plexiglass screens between the queuing areas, because quite often the queue will double back, as you know, so it really keeps people apart. And there's so many plexiglass screens all over the attractions, all over the rides, that if you're keeping the distance from the person in front and the person behind you, you've got the screens at the side of you, you're not really close to anyone, so I think that's a pretty good measure. Disney have deposited literally hundreds of hand gel stations all over the parks and the hotels, at the entrances to rides, the exit to rides, and at various points, obviously outside restaurants and at various points in the park, so there's no excuse for not keeping your hands clean all the time. When you go to a restaurant in Disney, what you will notice is they've taken extra measures to keep everybody separate. When you go in at the front, there's a little box that you stand in, you're greeted by a cast member, they're pointing you towards the sanitisation gel, get your gel in hands, and then they'll point you towards the next available queue. And you never feel like you're really close up hard against anybody. you know, when you go to that serving hatch, you're probably going to be the only one there until you come out and then the next person comes in, so that's really good. Also in the attractions, a similar idea. For example, you take the Phantom Manor, you go into that first room where the lift, before you walk into the lift, if you look on the floor, they've got tape on the floor to show you where the different groups will stand. And again, I mean, you are going to be in the ride with people, but the point is they're minimising the contact, face-to-face contact between people in the queues and the waiting areas. So they couldn't really do much more than they're doing, to be honest. So in summary, I think it's a really good time to come now. As I've said, there's only the Newport Bay Hotel open at the moment on Disney property. And when you see this, from the 21st of July, the Cheyenne Hotel's open as well. And then the other hotels are opening over the coming weeks and months, so it's probably going to get busier. But the infection rates in Europe are quite low at the moment, so there's not really a better time to come to Disneyland Paris than in the next few weeks. And we've had a really good time, we've done loads of rides, and it's just what we needed after a few months of being locked up.